I met a woman at a restaurant one time, and she was like there with her friends, and they were having a big dinner, and bumped into her. I'm like, what are you guys celebrating? She's like, my house burnt down. What? She was like, we're always celebrating something positive. We always wait till something great happens until we get our friends together and go out and have a good time. When I found out my house burnt down, literally this morning, I called all my friends because I'm like, now is the time where I need all my friends to get together and like have some celebration energy. And I was like, I never forget. This is like 20 years ago.
Wow. That is so powerful.
That story always stuck with me. The Kid Carson Show is taped at Mindful Med Studio inside Conscious Lab, downtown Vancouver, Canada. This episode powered by PHMX.
People are going to be able to come spend a week with us and go home, and it's going to be the most epic week of their life.
Stem cells, breath work, even ayahuasca. Hello. Details on PHMX in the show notes.
Kid Carson Show. How's it going?
It's going to be good when Pearl shows up and takes her shoes off.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get comfy.
Don't think I didn't notice.
I love how you notice.
Oh, yeah, of course. I always check everyone's feet right before we start.
You do? Why?
No, I don't. I just happen to look down and I'm like, oh, what are these little piggies doing down here? Yeah, she's exposing her piggies.
I just want to be comfortable.
Oh, I should have got a foot cam just down there. I should have aimed the...
No, this is a different type of podcast now.
Oh, my God. Could we actually make one?
No.
Let's actually do it. Hold on. I think we could see... Hold on.
Do you see them? Yeah.
Oh my God, wait. Just wait. Wait, ready?
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Oh my God, we've never done that before on the podcast. Wiggle them.
Wiggle them. Hey.
All right. Oh God, I love it.
You have to pay me for that.
I love it. I love it.
Don't share that.
I love it. Well, because you know what? It gives a vibe of like groundedness.
Yeah.
Is that why you take your shoes off?
Yes. I like my shoes to be off as much as possible, actually.
The reason why I notice that is because I've interviewed different people from different sort of healing modalities. And the common thing that they've shared with me is, kid, you need to ground more. So I notice when I see someone like take off their shoes, or
maybe you should take off your shoes too.
Because I'm like, I'll save you this. You don't want that to happen. But I've been making an effort to, like, I live in the beach district.
Nice.
To like go and just walk on the beach even for 20 minutes. Barefoot,
oh,
of course.
So healing.
Imagine I go to the beach and like keep my shoes on, walk in the sand. Oh, this is nice. No, but because I'm trying to like ground myself more, and I guess it's tied to like your root chakra or whatever, like,
Yeah.
So I appreciate the grounding hustle.
Yes.
That's going on there.
Thank you.
Okay, what are we going to jam about today?
All the things.
All the things. You are
so
someone.
happy to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Oh God. Oh, you had to say that. I had to have you back. Now we got to tell the story real quick.
We got to tell a story.
We did an interview. Was it 2 years ago?
Oh man, did time fly that fast?
I feel like it was 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And we recorded this interview when I was broadcasting from the Paradox Hotel. And then it never aired. And I think like that month that we recorded that was like the month where I was going through a separation and all this madness. And I had to relocate my studio and all these things were happening at one time. So then we never aired it. I think you hit me up on Instagram a couple times.
I messaged you and texted you. You never got back to
me. You're like, hey, so whatever happened to our episode? And it's one of those things where I dropped the ball on so many things for like 4 or 5 months. Probably let a lot of people down because you're just like, I need to focus on my own stuff.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then anyways, I think I came up for air like a few months ago and I was like, hey, Pearl, I owe you an apology. I sent you a voice note, I think, right?
You did. It was actually really nice to receive.
Okay,
it was
good.
lovely. Thank you
I'm
for
sweating
that.
talking about this because, it was embarrassing to like, we did this great conversation and then it didn't air and you were left on red going like, what the hell's with this guy? Doesn't release it, doesn't let me know what's happening. So I really loved that conversation. And I'm so glad we're able to do it again.
Yeah.
All right.
No, thank you for being so honest. And I really believe everything happens as it's meant to, divine timing. So now we're here. It's going to be better, bigger and better.
Give me the honest behind the scenes scoop though. What were you thinking? I'm just an asshole, or like, what were you thinking?
When you didn't text me back, I was like, oh, this is so lame. I'm like, what I thought was like, he must have so many other better podcasts, or he didn't like our podcast or something like that. And I was like, oh, well. We
do that to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You think, it must have been me.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, it was 100% me. Our episode was amazing. It was golden.
Yeah, I thought it was great too. I was like, I feel like it was good. Maybe he didn't like it, but people are usually just going through their own thing. And that's something I'm realizing. We often make it about ourselves, but it's like, oh, wait, maybe they're going through something. Like, are they doing okay? People usually never mean to intentionally like ignore you or ghost you or not do something they said they were going to do, but their inner stuff and the challenges of life make us think all the things. So
I know it's instantly. Oh, I guess that wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Yeah.
You were good enough, and I'm so glad you're coming back.
I'm back.
And I do believe in divine timing, like you just said, because actually I have better cameras now. It's a better studio.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm in a better building, a Conscious Lab. It's got a better
really
vibe
good
here.
Vibe, honestly.
And
this is meant to happen.
You're doing so much more now.
I am.
Yes.
Where
do we even start?
I don't know.
How would you, for people who are discovering you for the very first time, how would you even describe your coaching or who you are as a person? As a spiritual entity.
Yes.
With her shoes off.
My shoes off, grounding.
Who is Pearl?
I always challenge with this question because it's so hard to put myself in like this 1 or 2 liner, like, hey, this is what I do. This is my title. Because I do so many things. I'm multi-passionate entrepreneur, creative, dancer, facilitator, healer, coach, like all the things that I do. And it's very hard to make it into one. But yeah, I'm very passionate about a few main things. That is personal development, healing, overall health, optimization, well-being, music and dancing. Those are some of my main core pillars in my life. And so I've really built my life and my coaching and my dancing and my facilitation all around these. And really my aim is to help people feel so good in their bodies and really understand how to heal and thrive and work through their inner blocks and really build a better relationship with themselves and their bodies. And that was like the very different things, but that's like the gist of what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first night we ever met.
At that event, the dinner.
It was like a mastermind, internet masterminds dinner.
It was.
And
Gastown.
Yeah, the guy Matt who runs that invited me to come to this dinner. And remember, the only seat left was at the head of the table.
I remember that.
No one wants to sit at the head of the table because everyone's staring at you. And I'm like, I guess I'm sitting at the head of the table. It was kind of awkward. I think Matt was on the far other end, like
he was
100 people down. And everyone had to stand up and introduce themselves. And so it finally got to me and I forget, you said something funny, and I was like,
something about a fork or something. You have cutlery.
I didn't have any cutlery, and I made a comment, and you're the only person who laughed, and I'm like, okay, this girl's cool. She liked the dad humor joke.
I do like dad humor.
But you stood out at that event as like this young person who's like, into the Tony Robbins type energy. Like some people just carry it and have that kind of energy. And so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know you're young. You're in your 20s, right?
Actually, I just turned 30.
Oh, really?
Wild.
Oh,
but
wow.
I feel younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're from I'm in my 40s, so you're like a younger generation. I'm always curious about how people that are in your age group get turned on to personal development. Like for me, it was like, someone gave me Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And then the Tony Robbins, who else is really good? Like learning about, manifestation from Bob Proctor, like guys like that.
Yeah, I love Bob Proctor.
The good old GB.
GB.
Good old B. Good old Bobby. What do we want to call him? Who was it that turned you on to personal development? Hey guys, it's Kid. A few years ago in 2022, I discovered a guy named Lee Whitley.
Cancer is coming to a fucking end real fast. I go to dinner parties with doctors. Don't stop, you got it. You're fucking right, I got it. Tell the people I got it.
Go to kidcarson.com, you'll discover Lee's oil.
My journey into personal development was really through a very traumatic experience, and it was like going through some of the hardest times in my life, and I had to figure out how to get better. So to give some backstory, it was me going through losing my little sister, who unfortunately took her own life a few years ago. And so going through that and experiencing massive amounts of like sadness and grief and depression and just anxiety and, all these mental health things are coming up for me because I didn't know how to manage my emotions or take care of my mental well-being because I was never taught that. I didn't have like a good model for that when I was younger. And so, I really struggled for months and months and months. And I realized like, something has to change. I had a really bad panic attack one night where I thought I was going to die. I was like, this is how I die, I guess, because I can't fucking breathe. And I was like crying so hard, having a panic attack, thought my life was ending. And I realized I actually had like what you would call a spiritual awakening, where my soul left my body. And I remember seeing myself, like I was up in the sky and seeing myself in my room, like my body, like in this, state where I'm like hyperventilating and crying and like just a total mess. And I remember hearing this voice and it was like, you have to snap out of this. Like, this is not who you're meant to be. You're here for so much more. Like, basically get your shit together, right? And I heard that voice and I came back to my body and I like opened my eyes and I was like, oh shit, like just like a flip switched. And I was like, huh. Or like a switch flipped, yeah.
In the midst of the panic attack.
Yeah, in the midst of the panic attack, this happened. And I came back to my body and I snapped out of it like right away. And I remember like I got up from the ground and I have a mirror in my room. And I remember this moment so vividly. And I look at myself in the mirror, like facing myself, and I was like, you have to figure this out. You have to get your shit together. You have to figure out how to better your mental health and feel better about yourself, and start your path. And so that was my path. And I went to the gym actually right after that moment. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I was like, no, the gym's good for you. So I went to the gym, like literally still crying on the way to the gym. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I got this.
Wow.
And after that, I started researching, about mindset, mental health, well-being, how to get rid of anxiety, how to improve myself. And, all these things came up. I came across Tony and other mindset gurus. I dove into reading the books as well, like Think and Grow Rich and like Bob Proctor, like Manifestation. I actually got really hooked onto Manifestation Babe. And actually, one of the first people that I worked with was Brendan Burchard. And he was one of the first that really I took his 3-month program or 6-month, one of the programs.
He's the GOAT.
He's
right?
the GOAT. And so
Yeah.
he was one of the first people that were like, hey, so I joined his program because I really need support. I was like, I need some help. Like, I can't do this on my own. It's really hard and challenging. I just felt myself like not making the progress I want to. So I sat with Brendan Burchard, and now we're here, and that's put me on a trajectory to now doing what I do. But
He is the best, right?
he's amazing.
I just discovered him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He's like the guy who's teaching all the coaches.
Yeah, he's
Like how to do
honestly
it.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. That's pretty amazing that in the midst of like a panic attack, because I've had, I think, 2 in my life. I'd never had, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, I had a panic attack for the first time. And the only reason
scary.
because I had a friend who suffered from panic attacks. And he would tell me like, if I get stuck in like really, really bad traffic, he's like, my heart starts to race and it feels like I'm running full tilt.
Oh, wow.
But I'm sitting still. And I couldn't, I was like, wow, I couldn't wrap my mind around it until it happened like a couple years later. And I was just standing still and my heart was racing and I felt like I was sprinting full speed. And I actually was just talking to myself going, oh, so this is what it feels like. I think I'm having a panic attack right now. I was actually talking to myself very calm.
That's nice.
Because I had someone like giving me a reference to what it felt like.
Right.
Or else I probably would have thought I was dying too.
Yeah.
At the time.
Seriously.
Like, I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
What's going on? My kids are going to be like dadless and like all this stuff, right? That's going on.
No, that's, it was scary. I was like, I can't breathe. What's happening to me,
Yeah. And it's true that a lot of us, it takes us being in the mud pretty deep to like, it has to become so painful that we actually want to like find a change. If you just stayed comfortable all the time, there's nothing pushing you to like dive deep and read some of these books that are like intimidating.
Yeah.
To pick up Think and Grow Rich for the first time, like released in 1921 or whatever that book came out. It's not a book you instantly want to grab, but the pain of losing your sister. And how old was she at the time and how old were you?
She was 16 and I was
16? Yeah.
25.
25.
Let me think. Math. 25.
Wow. So this is like right
Before
around kind of
25,
like COVID time-ish.
Right before COVID. She passed in 2019. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I'm so sorry. That's
Yeah.
awful.
Thank you. It was, very tough. But
Yeah. So that sort of propelled you into this place where, I'm going to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And I love the hero's journey because you, on Instagram, you post. Like you're not shy about it. You're like, hey, you have that before and after. This is me in 2000, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like somewhere sitting on the end of a boat, maybe like what most people would think is glamorous. And you're like, I'm at my unhappiest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you cut to like, this is me now. And you're like, go dancing at some music festival. It's pretty wild.
It is.
Right?
It is. But you never know. Like, people can look so happy on the outside, but the internal can be such a disaster. And so that's why you can never really tell what someone's going through until they share or, like, you understand their inner world. So I always try to tell people that everyone's like, oh, you always look so happy. Oh, my gosh. And, like, I am, but I'm also going through things a lot of the time, actually. Like, there's always some things coming up where I'm healing some part of me or there's trauma here and there. It's like, but you get to have both. I truly believe it's the duality of it. I can still be this happy, thriving human being that's still healing all the hard shit at the same time.
Yeah. You're still a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it that makes you comfortable sharing that journey with everyone? Did that take a little bit of, like, it's hard to put yourself out there for a lot of people online, right?
It is.
Especially when you're going through stuff. There's a lot of people talking about, I've made it. And, it wasn't always as easy. But when you're someone who is constantly thriving or building up to the next level of yourself and you're online, like admitting, hey, yeah, I've been a coach for, like, you did a post recently. And this is after I was well established that I knew who you were. I was following you on Instagram. I think we'd already even done our first interview that never aired. And I'm like, and then you had another post where you're like, hey, I'm now realizing that what I've been doing is not the right thing. And now I'm like you're pivoting and sharing the pivot with people.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
For sure. I think it's very easy to be like, oh, like I've made it, I'm doing all these things, which is amazing. But for my journey, there's a point where I realized like, oh, most of the things I've been doing, like the first part of my coaching journey was all coming from a wounded place. It was coming from a place of like, how can I be better? I'm not good enough. I need to make more money. I need to make my dad proud. I need to prove that I'm better and this and that. I need to belong, a part of something. It was all coming from the wrong place and space. And I was pursuing and chasing things that weren't actually making me happy, like deep in my soul. And so I had that realization actually earlier this year. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, this is not ideal, you know? So I didn't feel aligned. And so, yeah, I made that post and I realized I had to shift something. And I actually took some time off my business to get clarity, to find myself, to go have fun, to dance at festivals, and to go pursue some of the things that I always wanted to do and truly find what I want to come back and share and support people with. And I've got a lot more clarity now, but I think knowing that pivoting is part of life, that we're always evolving and no one has this like perfect, I'm going to be doing this and everything's always good. And I just want to be real people, you know, that's a big part of my values is this being real, being vulnerable, being honest and just being me. And so evolving as things no longer feel aligned is super important to me, and sharing that gives other people permission to do the same, because I know many I work with, they're like, oh, I don't even want to be doing this. I'm like, then why are you doing it? And it's like all these other reasons, these wounds, these childhood things that come up. It's like, well, let's create the version of you that feels safe to pivot and to actually live the life she wants. So it hasn't always been easy to share, but the more I work on feeling confident and sharing my truth, the more I can. So
yeah, I'm just going to move your mic up slightly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, why didn't you do that earlier?
I don't know. I was so enthralled with what you were saying. I'm like, I better.
This is great. Thank you.
In a trance. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Preach. What is it that pivoted for you? Like, is there some people listening now that are like, they feel like they've got something to share. They've got a story. Maybe they have ambitions of becoming a coach or taking that thing, that struggle that they've gone through and now using it to help other people. Because I think you have to have a coach who's been where you want to, you know, a coach who is where you are and is where you want to be.
Yeah, and who's been where you've been.
Right.
And who's where you want to be. Yeah.
If they can't recognize like the pain that you're in.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a company pain point or a personal pain point or whatever. You know, when their eyes glaze over, like, yes, of course, you just have to smile or whatever it is. Like, I want to know you've been where I am.
Yeah.
Like, so you can talk to me in a language. Like, what do you say to the person who maybe has an aspiration of becoming a coach about what it's like to start it one way and then discover that maybe you need to do a pivot?
Yeah.
Can you speak to that a little bit?
For sure. I always think about Apple, you know, and every year they evolve their products, right? And it's like, you get to do the same thing. I don't know why sometimes products are treated differently as service businesses. It's like, oh, you're a coach and you work on this part, so you have to do this forever. Because I started out doing nutrition. I used to be a dietitian. And I did personal training, and I did this and that and this and that. And I think the journey as you evolve and also get to know yourself more, and you get to truly understand who you are and what you love and what lights you up and what you're really good at. And it takes trial and error, experimenting. And so I think of Apple, it's like every year they get better with their phones and they figure out what people like, what works, doesn't work. And, you know, their first few phones probably weren't that great, but you keep doing it, you keep working on it. And so for anyone that wants to, you know, be a coach or pursue their passions, it's like, just start somewhere and give yourself permission to keep going. Because one thing that comes up for me and others, like, oh, but if I do this, what if I don't want to do it anymore? Or do I have to stick to it? Or what if I have to change my mind? Are people going to think I can't help people anymore? And it's like, I believe you're going to figure it out along the way. You're allowed to pivot and shift, and the journey actually is how you discover what you're meant to do. And so you have to start somewhere, find someone you like to follow, get some advice from someone who's been there, you know, just like start sharing your journey, start sharing your story, start sharing what lessons that you have, and people will start to, you know, connect with you in different ways. So
plus, being the personality type you are, you're constantly learning. You're probably constantly having your own mentors, programs you're taking, things you're learning.
Yeah.
Like you started out doing nutrition and now you're doing like somatic work in the body and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you learned, well, this is a powerful tool for your tool belt, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to add this into the mix. If some of us get stuck in a certain, okay, I'm known for this, I can't deviate outside of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
You know, like I was pigeonholed for years as like, you know, hey, call now. If you're caller 9, you win $500, you know? That was my thing.
Exactly. That's how years. I knew you on the radio. Yeah.
Then I became like, you know, political, this is bullshit. The government can't tell us this, that kind of thing. And then I pivoted again because I'm like, okay, I don't want to be just negative Nancy all the time. I don't want that to be my thing.
Right.
And I just love talking to people that are all in a personal development and spiritual growth and all that stuff. Yeah, just who cares, man? Shake it off and just start doing your thing.
You get to evolve and grow and learn. That's the beauty of it, right?
Because I want to talk about what you're doing in your coaching. Because you're one of the movers and shakers in the city. People see you, they recognize you. You've got a great personal brand online.
Thank you.
I'd love to dive into what you've been doing for yourself during this little break. I saw you're like, I'm go dancing at a music festival. It's been my dream for a long time. I'm like, it's your girl Pearl going. Is that my phone or your phone? No, it's mine.
It's yours. Mine's on silent.
How unprofessional of me.
I'm a professional.
God, quick, cut to the foot cam.
I know.
There we go. Well, there it is. It's still there. Okay, good. They're still there.
Cut to the foot cam.
Cut to the foot cam while I'm turning my phone off.
My hair's stuck in this leaf.
Okay, good.
Oh, gosh, it's branch.
Oh, this is just an out of control episode here.
There we go.
We're in the jungle with our bare feet. Okay. So what would people be surprised to learn about you? Maybe if you share this with your followers and they're tuning in, what are they going to surprise to learn about you, what you did during your little kind of recalibration pivot? Hey, it's Kid. So listen, you've probably seen a couple of YouTube videos or whatever about microdosing and how it can cure all these amazing things. Most companies aren't living up to it. Mindful Meds is. When I discovered them, my mind was blown. I knew I had to partner with them. So if you're stressed, a little bit of anxiety, I don't know, maybe you're depressed. You got some things going on, man. This could change everything for you. Mindful Meds gives you the blends with lab-tested psilocybin, natural clarity. This is the most premium microdose you can get. They also have functional mushrooms that don't have any psilocybin in them. It's about finding out what's right for you. Go to their website, take their 3-minute quiz at mindfulmeds.io. I'll get the link in the show notes. Finally available in the U.S.
Save 15% off anything in the Mindful Med shop by using promo code Kid Carson.
People always see me as this bubbly, outgoing, energetic, thriving, which I am. That's a big part of my personality, but something that I probably don't share as often is I feel like I go so deep in my healing and my journey on a daily basis. So for example, some days I feel every single emotion, but I normalize that because I think people think I have to be this high energy person all the time. And I'm this extrovert and I'm this coach and I have this presence, which is beautiful. But what I'm learning more and more as I do more somatic work, as I lean more into, supporting myself and others with this, it's actually feelings are meant to come in ebb and flow. And we're actually meant to be really good at feeling. And be really good at letting it go and letting energies come through. And so even this morning I was crying and healing things, and we get to learn how to be really good at that. And so I normalize feeling all the feels. I do a lot of deep work every day, and it's not the easiest work, but it's why I am who I am. It's why I have the capacity and the nervous system regulation around all the things I do. And so I think that's something that I'm going to be talking about more, but I don't necessarily do at the moment. But I've been doing a lot of that the past few months.
Wow. Tell me what made you cry this morning.
This morning, I mean, Matt.
Can you tell us what it was?
Yeah, I can't tell you, otherwise I'm going to start crying right now, but I'm going through a big shift in my life around healing this big inner child wound, and I had a very rough childhood. I was abused in many ways, and so my mother decided to send me a really harsh message, a few days for my birthday. And I didn't get a chance to process it because I was going into my birthday celebrations. I just want to be present and have a really fun time and celebrate myself and all the things. So these past few days, I've just been working on the things that came up around that, and just working on the childhood stuff that I haven't fully addressed. I always believe it's an ongoing process. I'll work on some parts and other parts will come up. And then I had a friend that triggered me pretty badly. And a lot of things came up around that. And so just dealing with the parts of me that didn't get the love I needed. So just giving my inner child a lot of love this morning, and just healing those parts. So
I interviewed someone who switched the word triggered to activated. Instead of saying you triggered me, it was you activated something inside of me. And I was I had to sit there for 10 seconds and absorb that. I'm like, oh my God, that's great.
That's a great one. It's a great way to say it too. I still triggered because one of my main sayings triggers are your best teachers. I say that to myself every day. Triggers are your best teachers. And so activate is great too.
Yeah, because it makes it obviously you do this because you do the deep shadow work.
Yeah.
But it's activated makes it about you, and triggered makes it about the other person.
That's not my lens, but I think many people look like that.
Maybe my lens.
This got triggered within me, so I need to look at this. That's how I see it. I'm triggered about this. this is something I need to work on within me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe my lens comes from just going through a divorce. And there's a lot of, why are you
Fair.
triggering me?
That's fair.
And you're putting the blame on the other person.
Yeah,
Instead of
right.
going, okay, you said something. Who knows how you even meant it, but it
Yeah.
activated something inside of me. I need to work on how I receive, or, you know, I can choose to how I want to react to this situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're doing the same thing. You just have a different
Exactly.
way of,
Different
lens
perspective of it.
different
But yeah,
perspective
it's
of
the
saying
same
it.
idea.
Yeah. What do you think people are struggling with the most when you look at your clients? I'm sure you have people from all over the place who come to you. What's the common thing that people are having a hard time with?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's one common theme, but it's a trend of not understanding emotions, not knowing how to process them in the body, not knowing what the bodies communicate to them, not knowing how to give themselves what they need, not knowing how to not be overwhelmed and get into a negative spiral when they get triggered or activated, or when big feelings come up. Like a big thing that comes up for a lot of the women I work with, it's like, oh my gosh, I have so many big feelings. And then it becomes this bad thing, as if they like, oh, having big feelings is a lot of work, and it's like negative mindset around it. So really helping people understand how to manage, navigate these big feelings without letting these big feelings derail them for the rest of the day or the week. And knowing how to process these feelings in the moment and eventually within minutes. And then you can go on with your day and still come back to like your grounded higher self. And so, I mean, that's a big process, but yeah, that's the biggest thing, is like how to navigate these emotions and feelings and thoughts that come up, and all the bigness and the heaviness that comes with it, and how to like liberate yourself from that, really.
So when you're having like a really big moment,
Yeah.
and maybe it's let's have some fun, and like let's say someone pisses you off, just like, you know,
Yeah.
kid doesn't reply to your DM and leaves you on a red, and you're like, fuck this guy. I know you're doing like somatic work now. Is that the trick? Is to know how to work with your body first to calm your mind? Or like what's your step by step, maybe a little
Yeah.
practical advice for someone who's
For
like,
sure.
okay, I'm feeling the big feeling, whatever it is. How do you wrangle that moment?
Yeah.
So you're not like pissed off at your kids or your coworkers for like the rest of the day. Like you don't be getting yourself stuck in a mood.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. This
Yeah.
happens all the time. And I have a few suggestions, and the work I do is never like this is exactly how you're going to do this. It's like, here are all the ways that I see this being supportive for you, but you have to figure out, particularly for you and your conditioning and your lens and your wounds and all the things, what works for you in the moments. And every moment might be different too. We might be triggered by someone and it's just a little trigger, or you might be activated in a big wound. Like, so it's really about understanding what you do and what works. So I think coming to the body is my favorite thing to do right away. And so if you feel yourself activated or sad or mad or triggered or frustrated, and you're like, you feel yourself, maybe your heart rate increases, really notice what happens in your body, because it's the first way to be like, oh, my heart rate's increasing, my chest is tightening, my stomach is feeling like in a knot, or this is happening. So bring a lot of awareness to your body, and then just taking some deep breaths, and even just naming the emotions and feelings you're starting to feel, like, oh, I'm feeling sadness, or I'm feeling angry, I feel it here in my body, okay, this is what I'm feeling, and just like saying it out loud or in your mind, to just start to let your thoughts focus on the present moment, bring yourself into the moment. And then I always say deep breaths, and I do a lot of movement with the somatic work I do. Somatics just means in the body. So it just means being in the body as you're doing something, because anything can be somatic with your intention and awareness around it. So I focus on a lot of somatic movement. So it's like, okay, this feeling's in my chest. What does it need to do? How does it want to be expressed? How does it need to move through the body? Because emotions are energy in motion, and we need to actually move them, whether it's through breath or through movement or through
I'll say that again, because some
something.
people maybe have not heard that before.
Yeah, emotions are energy in motion, right? Emotion, energy in motion. And so
It's like
all
right,
our
right in front of us,
emotions-
right?
Yeah.
But most of us were never taught this.
No, we're not. I mean, I didn't know this until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Energy in motion.
Energy in motion.
Yes. And yes. So emotions must complete a cycle, or else they get stuck. But most people don't understand that. So our emotions all get stuck. And
Okay, can you describe the cycle?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the cycle is, it's not like a step-by-step process, but emotions, they come in, we feel them, and we must, like, I always believe there's a lesson, and we must let them go. And so it's, emotions come up, okay, I'm feeling sad, mad, angry, trigger, whatever, okay, what does that mean? What am I learning from this? Like, what's my body trying to tell me? There's always some sort of, what I believe is some sort of growth, some lessons, some healing to be done there. And it can be with positive emotions too, like all emotions. And then emotions are meant to come, like, be left. It's like this, they come in and they come out. It's like this sick, like air almost, like come in and come out. And so, and then we get to leave it and let it go and not hold on to it. But the problem is a lot of people don't do the full process, and this process looks different for everyone, but it's like, what does your body need to let go of this emotion? And that could be a lot of things. It could be vocalizing things. It could be shaking it out. It could be giving yourself a hug. It could be journaling. And it's really intuitive and like up to the person. And there's all these different options you can do. But it's like, what would make you feel better around this emotion? What do you need, right? And you give yourself what you need, and then you let it go. And it no longer is ruminating in your mind, because people don't do the process and they'll just sit there and be like, oh, I'm so mad that happened. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And then the next day, same thing. Oh, I can't believe that happened. And it's yesterday, that guy. Can you believe that guy? And until you allow yourself to process and let it go, the emotion gets stuck in your body, and you don't connect to where it is in the body and like what it needs. And it just keeps ruminating, and you keep getting angry about this thing versus being able to let it go and not let it bother you for days and days, and all the things that happen when you ruminate and when you get in this negative cycle. So,
well, I'm sorry I kept you in that loop again when I didn't respond to you.
Oh, don't worry. I did my somatic process. It was good. I didn't. I let myself feel the feels, like it's okay.
And I didn't. I let it be stuck in my body for a year until I finally sent you that voice note. Hey, this is a really overdue apology, by the way. No, but that's and what's the danger of not being self-expressed and to letting this energy and motion not move through your body? What bad things can happen to you? Some
of the outcomes that can happen is, what you.
Yeah, I shouldn't say bad things.
Yeah.
I'll say, what are some of the outcomes?
The outcomes are like the side effects, I would say, of that is, a lot of things you see on a regular basis, like people that are super triggered, people that are very anxious, people that are maybe frequently low mood. And
hey, it's Kid. First of all, I'm so grateful you're here listening to this episode. I'd love to be able to share announcements with you, events, things coming up. Please join my email list from kidcarson.com.
Running in loops, you can't break patterns. You feel like you're stuck, you're lacking motivation. Maybe there's a certain pattern that you keep coming up against and you just can't seem to break it. Or it comes up as, it can even show up as health things too, right? There's a lot of science behind the idea of these energy, like the energy of these heavier emotions like anger, resentment, frustration, being stuck in the body, and that actually changes the chemistry around your cells, right? Because there's different frequencies. Every emotion has different frequency.
Yeah.
So it changes the chemistry around your cells in your body. So if you have an energy stuck, let's say, in your liver, and it's vibrating at a low frequency, actually it can cause disease, like long term. I'm talking like years and years and years of this thing. But there's an idea that, if you work with the body and you release these emotions, you unblock trapped emotions, you will reduce your risk of having these negative health effects or diseases or cancers, things like that, because you are letting less of this negative vibration in your body because you're actually liberating it. And so those are many things, but I also believe, like mental health issues, diseases, things like that can also cause this. But also just being like bitchy and like someone that's like always triggered and like, oh, this happened to me and I'm so mad and sad, or, those people, that are always just like in a bad mood, like that's like also a side effect, just always being in a bad mood.
That's a great way to put it.
Because you can't.
Trapped emotion equals bitchiness. In men and women.
Yeah.
Bitchiness. We've all met a bitchy guy. You could use the term bitchy for a guy. I haven't said bitchy in a while. It feels good.
I like the word bitchy.
It slaps. Kids don't say that anymore.
I say that.
Do you? Good.
Every day.
I love
that word. Oh my God.
It slaps.
I see, that slaps.
That slaps.
This slaps.
Man. Did you ever think any of this stuff was crazy?
Oh yeah. I come from a background of like science and Western medicine. Like I went to TBC for dietetics, and so science, Western medicine, like chemistry, biology, all the things. And no one ever talked about that in the whole 5-6 years I was studying. You don't hear about the energetics and like the more Eastern ideologies around it. And so when I was, thinking and starting to learn about this, at first I was like, oh yeah, I'm not sure. But then I started to work on myself, and because I believe you're your best example. So I started to do this work on myself, especially when I was feeling really low and, having a panic attack, and my sister died, all the things. And I realized, I was like, I have no other option. Let me do all the things to make myself feel better. Right. And I was starting to do this work, and I actually started I could feel my body feel lighter. I could feel these emotions release. I could feel it. And I'm like, well, I can't lie to myself and be like, oh. So I had to experience it myself first before I could fully believe it. But yeah, at first I was like, oh, that's probably not going to work. Oh, whatever, this woo-woo bullshit, But the more I learned about energetics and frequencies and like manifestation, the science behind it, like it is a science. And I was like, oh, I love science. And so it all kind of makes sense. But you have to learn, and I truly believe, experience it for yourself to fully believe it.
Have you ever heard of German New Medicine?
I have.
No, I really want to go down that rabbit hole because they describe like I heard about the guy who was, I guess, a German doctor originally who coined the phrase German New Medicine. He had like patients coming in, and like patients who had lost like a child, all had developed like testicular cancer. And he was like, "This is really odd. How do I have?" I'm botching the history of it, but something like
summary. Yeah,
I can't believe I've had 6 patients in a row who have testicular cancer, and in their file they've previously lost a child, and that made him go, "All right, I'm diving into the rabbit hole."
Yeah,
and it turned out he ended up lining up with people who had suffered specific traumas, were having a specific disease, and he's like, "Hey, there's got to be something going on with the energy of the trauma in a certain part of the body."
That is so interesting.
Right? That's crazy. Where people can, and then since I've interviewed people who are like, "Oh, if you're tight in this part of your back, it's financial stress. Or if it's over here in the shoulder, it's emotion, it's a relationship issue." Or I was like, whoa, that's wild to think that there's a direct tie-in to.
That is really cool to think. I mean, it makes sense. 'Cause when I do work with my clients, like I don't tell them like, "Oh, if it's here, this is what's happening." But I do tell them like, "Hey, they're like, "Oh, I'm feeling this in my body. I'm feeling tight here. There's lower back pain." And I'm like, "Let's explore it." And it's really interesting to see what comes up with people. Because I communicate with the body in my coaching most of the time, and like help people understand like what their body's saying to them. And so someone's like, "Oh, my lower back is aching me," and like, "Hey, let's explore it. Let's go there. Let's see what's there." And what's the first memory that comes up? And our subconscious mind is so smart. So, and I get people in a really calm state, and like the first thing that comes to their mind, they say, and I'm like, "Oh, wow." And it's like, "Oh, like my mom told me I was ugly that one time," or like, "Oh, this," when I was like, "Oh my God," like I have no idea what was going to come up for them. But the things that are related to this pain or these aches or these like emotions are usually always tied to like some sort of trauma or experience that's imprinted on our nervous system that's caused these negative experience or negative feelings, or you know. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of connections here in the body, and we're still learning so much about it.
I just assume a lot of your calls are just you guys have dance parties.
Yeah, no, at the end we do.
Yeah, at the end you do.
First,
Yeah, right.
we have to dig deep. We have to dig deep. It always ends with a dance party. Always
ends. Yeah, because that's a good thing. Like the coach that I worked with, he had this strategy. He had some kind of a funny name for it, where he would make me go on a street corner where I just like start like shaking my. Oh God, you're judging. Are you judging?
No, I think that's amazing. I'm just imagining you on the street.
Oh yeah, in public.
Yeah.
And like just shake your whole body.
Yeah.
And it was to like just shake all the whatever blocked energy that's in your body. Like you're just like kind of doing this crazy flailing your arms, but also to reduce judgment, to like not care about
what people think.
There's a double thing there. But it's great because I'd be with my kids.
Oh yeah,
and I'd say,
kids would love that.
I'd be like, if you guys don't smarten up right now, I'm going to do the dance move on the street corner. Like during school pickup or whatever, they're already fighting before we get in the car. I will do the thing. They're like, okay, fine. we'll stop hitting each other. But so I learned a lot from that lesson. But yeah, just moving the body and getting the energy loosened up.
Yeah.
Gotta be a big thing. That's why maybe dancing is such a huge thing for you.
I mean, dancing's incredible. Dancing, I mean, the science behind dancing too, about how beneficial it is. And because emotions are energy in motion, it's like you get to move and dance. And a big part of my healing journey came through dancing, actually. Right? It's through learning about how to process my trauma and like all the grief and all the sadness through movement, through dancing. So I dance still to this day, every single day.
Should more dudes be dancing?
Heck yes.
Is that a thing?
Heck yes. I believe every human needs to dance every single day. That's actually one of my goals with my business. I think everyone needs to dance every single day.
Back in the day, like going way back, we all danced.
Yeah.
Like around the fire.
Exactly.
In our villages. It was a way of telling stories and passing down traditions. And yeah, now there's no dudes really. Well, I guess you got the TikTok dudes with the big hair.
Yeah, and the guy dancers and stuff like that. But I really believe we've lost a big part of our core. And that is dancing and movement and being just connected to the body. And that's not for a female or a male. It's for humans in general, you know? And it's really beautiful when you're able to do more of that and connect to your body, your emotions, and like loosen up. Everyone's so stiff these days too. I really believe everyone needs to dance more. It'd be beneficial, like the health benefits of, dancing, the mental health benefits. This research study that has been going viral for 2 years now, the one where dancing is more effective than any other intervention for anxiety and depression. Like there's so many beautiful things about movement, and dancing doesn't have to be like what comes up a lot with people I work with, or in general, when I'm at festivals or facilitating or whatever around dancing, it's like, oh, but it doesn't look good, and oh, I'm gonna be awkward, and oh, I can't dance, I don't have good dance move. It's how can we take away the idea that has to be performative, but it's just you're doing it for you to feel good, to have fun. Because when little kids dance, we're not like, oh, they suck. Yeah. They're just like...
Well, I do.
You do. Oh, well,
I go to kids' parties on purpose just to go, look at these morons. No,
you're a little shit.
Just kidding. But no, it's so true.
But yeah, just dance.
Guess what? If you're not a good dancer, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, it's about having fun and connecting and just letting loose.
Yeah, and if you're not like a person who normally does dance to let it all go, you're probably not passing that on to your kids.
Yeah.
And it's probably not a thing that a dad just thinks to do.
No.
Let's grab my boys. We're going to have a little dance, huh? You know?
No, it's not an automatic thought.
Put your dishes in the sink. It's dance party time. Like, you're not thinking to do that. Maybe you might think wrestle. But I mean, it's important to move the body. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we do crank music when we wrestle. You know,
okay.
So we we put on some
vibe.
Put on some stuff, we make it a thing.
Yeah.
But maybe dancing is the thing. Are you still doing these sober dance parties?
I am. Yeah, it's actually we're doing one on Wednesday. Tomorrow, over the summer, I've been doing, have you heard of Jacques the Party Scientist?
Jacques
the Party Scientist.
No.
Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. He's also kind of similar.
The Vancouver guy?
Vancouver guy.
Yeah.
He hosts all these sober raves, sober hikes, sober bike rides, and just all these really awesome events.
There's a need for a sober bike ride?
Yeah. Or he just go. Well, he just go.
Oh my God! Back to the foot cam. Back to the foot cam.
He just calls.
There we go. I can't. What? Okay.
Everything he does is
Pearl,
sober.
that's funny.
I mean, I don't know if there's a need for it, but he just does it anyway.
That's funny. Like, I'm going to coin, like, the sober morning routine.
Hey, you never know.
Because it's needed. There's a sober, because what? There's a big thing with people can only bike ride drunk? Like,
no.
You doing this, the sober dance night, like club nights.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, this is genius. Mm-hmm. People want to go, they want to dance, but they don't want to feel like, do you need to get loaded? So, like, a sober dance party, it makes total sense.
So, okay,
the sober bike ride.
It's just everything he does is sober. I just say sober.
Jacques, you're a genius.
So Jacques is amazing. So we've been doing events together all summer. They've been so much fun. At the beach, we do like these sober dance events, and it's really beautiful. And he also is very focused on human connection and how we can create our own intrinsic joy. And he's all about the science of joy and joy making. And so we've been collaborating. So our last event is Wednesday, tomorrow, and we're doing our last one on the beach. But then I'm going back to in-person or indoors events in the fall, and I want to incorporate more somatics into my events because I haven't been doing that much somatic work at my events. I usually keep them separate, but I think I want to try and combine them together and see how that goes. So no,
I think that it's amazing that you guys are doing that. I think it's so funny though to have
so fun.
Come to the sober bike ride.
They're great. I mean, he loves them.
I'm gonna be laughing
sober
at that all day.
rave, the sober bike ride, all of it.
A sober hike? A sober hike?
The sober hike.
Oh my God. I always thought it was
because he means like no mushrooms, no like sober, like.
Oh, I see.
Like
I always think of drinking
substances. Yeah.
When I think of sobriety,
substance free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not down with the microdosing on mushrooms, not your thing.
So I'm not against it, but I don't love doing it in a party setting. I think my intention with what I'm doing, like I love psychedelics. I love expanding my consciousness, but I'm very intentional about my use of it and the setting, the people, the space. Like I think it's a very special thing because it's medicine, right? And the way people are using it every weekend just to go out dancing, like that's the thing I want to kind of break the norm around. It's like we don't have to do substances every weekend just to go out and dance. We can just go out and dance and have fun in our sober state.
Right.
So I want to build more normalization around we don't have to be always so high or drunk or whatever you think you need to do to be fully expressed. We can do that sober. So I really enjoy being sober at like almost every event. I'm not always sober, but 99% of the time I am. And I just think the awareness and the intention and just helping people build the muscle of like having the option to have as much fun as they do when they're high or drunk as when they're sober. But people don't have that same connection. So my intention is to create that. And whether or not you want to do drugs all the time or half the time, whatever, but I want you to be able to be sober and be fun and be liberated and just like be so confident in yourself that you can have the time of your life in a sober state.
Because people were grown up like, we can't even imagine going dancing sober. Are you kidding me? You want me to dance sober?
Isn't that wild to think about?
It's crazy that we just think we need to get to drink number what? If some pre-drinks,
Yeah.
the drinks when you get there, and then finally later in the night, you're like finally ready to let loose.
Exactly.
So I do like the idea of like microdosing as a good bridge
It
to
could
that.
be a bridge.
Where now you
yeah.
don't have to be like all messy, but you're just sort of like just a little bit like
Yeah.
looser. Where you
Looser.
can, and then to teach yourself how to eventually
get there.
just
Yeah.
dance sober. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's got to be. When you started doing these events, did you notice like were people just gung ho right away?
No,
like-
not everyone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resistance at first, for sure. Of course, there's people that you'll attract that are like, oh my God, yeah, I love dancing. And they don't care. But the people that were more like timid or like nervous. And at my events, I do some like grounding, some regulation work, and just some things to self-support people to feel better, feel less anxious, feel less in their heads, and be able to show up in a different state. And so I do like some body work and some grounding, meditations, etc. And doing that actually helps people feel a little better. But throughout the night, they get more loose and you can see things shift. And so everyone has their own journey and starting point. But I know by the end of the night, everyone's more comfortable. They're more liberated. They're just having more fun. It's really cool to see the trajectory of people as they come through the event, like how they feel at the beginning versus how they feel at the end. It's just like beautiful to watch. And of course, you need to keep coming and keep experiencing that to fully get to where you want to be. But it's a journey.
I can imagine the first few events you did, the sober dance parties, people were just showing up to see if this was real.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This can't be real. What's going on? And they see people like dancing and doing their thing. Oh, it's so cool you're doing that.
So fun.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
great.
I gotta meet this Jacques guy too.
For sure.
Yeah,
He's quite the guy.
I've always wanted to go bike riding sober, so this will be my chance. I always wondered what it was like. I don't know why I found that so
I know you
flippin'
did.
funny. I know, it's great. But Jacques sounds like a cool guy.
He is. He's
Yeah.
great. You should
That's
come
the
to
way to
one.
go.
They're honestly such a fun
I know.
time.
I really
You bring
really
your
should.
kids. They're kid friendly. And the music isn't always PG, though. I always tell parents that because people ask me, "Can I bring my kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, but the music's not always PG." But they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So just have to put that out there.
Yeah, these kids know at this point.
Oh, they know.
You know, they know. For someone who's forwarded this podcast to someone who heard this and thought, oh, man, this girl's got the energy, and they're forwarding it to someone who might be in the mud or is stuck in something. Mm-hmm. What do you say to that person?
If you're stuck in the mud and feeling really down and low and like life is so hard and nothing's going your way, and something I learned through my journey and evolution, I'm still learning, is that we decide what we get to believe. You know, we don't have to be in this mindset of, oh, my life sucks and this is not working and this and that. It's how can we shift our lens and always put the power back in like your seat. Like, oh, I have the power to snap myself out of it, to take a deep breath, to listen to a podcast, to listen to some music. We can always change our state no matter what. And that's something I believe truly, truly is, even through the hardest times, you can choose to change your state. You can choose to think better. You can choose to, you know, be the other version of you. And of course, like, people are going through hard times, like, give yourself love and compassion and grace and all the things you need, but feel it and don't feed it. That's a quote I saw a couple months ago that I really loved and really stands for what I do. And
say that again.
It's feel it, but don't feed it. So feeling your emotions and giving yourself the time and the love and the grace and the space, and give yourself the time to feel it. Because most people don't feel it. They'll dissociate. They'll, repress. They'll neglect. They will, distance themselves from feeling the feelings. Feel the feelings, but then don't feed it to the point where it makes you spiral for days, where you're, not being yourself, where you're not doing your habits, or you're not eating well, or, you're not going to the gym, or the things that you allow to deter you. So, like, don't feed it to the point where you're like, oh, my life sucks, I'm gonna sit on the couch and just eat chips. It's feel the feelings, but don't feed them. And of course, you have to find your balance with that, what that means to you. But I believe you always have the choice to change your state, change your mind. And no matter how hard life may seem, we can always get better. We can always change it. We can always find a way to, have that inner dance party, celebrate something yourself, and just choose to feel better. That's one thing that got me through my hardest time in my life. All I said is, I just want to feel better every day. That was my daily intention. I just want to feel better. And I do one thing a day to make me feel better, whether that was a walk or the gym or listening to a motivational podcast or doing one dance party. I just want to feel better. And eventually it compounded, and now I feel amazing most times. But of course I still feel the feels, right? But yeah.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're not against chips on this podcast. Everyone always...
No, I love chips.
Chips get a bad rap. It's always, if you're a lazy, depressed person, you're always eating chips. I freaking love chips.
Oh my God. Chips are great. Again, everything in moderation.
Right.
Enjoy
That's
your
funny.
chips.
I met a woman at a restaurant one time, and she was like there with her friends, and they were having a big dinner, and you know, and I bumped into her. I'm like, what are you guys celebrating? She's like, my house burnt down. And I was like, wow, can I talk to you for like 2 more minutes? Like, what? She was like, you know, we're always celebrating something positive. You know, we always wait till something great happens until we get our friends together and go out and have a good time. When I found out my house burnt down, literally this morning, I called all my friends because I'm like, now is the time where I need all my friends to get together and like have some celebration energy. And I was like, I never forget. That was like, this is like 20 years ago.
Wow. That is
like,
so powerful.
That story always stuck with me. Like, you can make the decision, whether it's you got a promotion or your house burnt down.
Yeah.
You can decide to gather a couple of your friends and go out and have like a good time.
Exactly.
Just, I thought of that story.
What a perspective shift, you know?
Yeah.
It really makes me think. There's a mantra I say almost every day, and everything's always happening for me, even the worst things. And so with that lens, it's like everything's always happening for me, and I'm always excited for the growth that's going to come. There's always growth that comes with anything. And so it could be the best thing, I'm growing. The worst thing, I'm growing. And it's like, it's always happening for me, for my evolution, for my growth, for becoming a better version of me. And that's something to celebrate. So that's something I think about every day, and just helps me have a different perspective on the challenges, because I'm getting better, and that's fucking awesome. So
It's amazing.
yeah.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being the inventor of the foot cam.
Oh my God.
If you want, maybe we can consider, I'll add some timestamps in the episode description of,
Oh my God.
when the feet showed up, in case you want to go back and screenshot them and, hey.
Thank you, kid.
You're the best, Pearl. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Kid. Please subscribe to the podcast. It helps push the show out to more people.